I told you guys that trademarks, they protect your brand in the marketplace, right? And usually that protection stops the moment someone purchases your item. So usually, if so this is taking us to our story. If I buy a high-end bag, if I buy a Louis Vuitton bag, what's the average price of a Louis Vuitton bag? I do not. What made me wear glasses? Because I can't see without them. I'm blind, girl. It's shapes and colors right now. If you ever see me without glasses, I either have contacts in or you need to call emergency immediately. All right. So if I buy a Louis Vuitton bag, right? I don't know what the cost is, but I'm gonna pay a pretty penny, right? So because I bought it, it's mine. I can do what I want with it. If I want to take the Louis bag and I want to wear it as a hat, that's my business. If I want to take the Louis bag and I want to rip it apart and do something else with it, that's my business because I purchased it. But what happens when you take you take that purchased item and then you remake it and then try to sell that? That is the question that was happening. There was a company selling upcycled bags, meaning they took old Louis Vuitton bags and, they would make them into new designs and they would sell them. I'm sure a lot of you have seen sites that are selling pre-loved designer items or items that excuse me, or what is it, custom designer items, made, like my favorite example is, how many of y'all know who Cash Doll is? If you know who Cash Doll is, write Cash Doll in the comments. So Cash Doll, she is a rapper out of Detroit. And there was a picture that I saw of her where she had a Louis Vuitton pattern bulletproof vest, rifle, and mask, like a Bane mask, right? And I know that Louis Vuitton doesn't make stuff like that, but Cash Doll, she buys a lot of designer things. So it would be easy for her to take that stuff to someone who could work the materials and have them make something custom for her, right? But if you are a store that is selling refurbished Louis Vuitton items, Louis Vuitton does not want you doing that, right? So there was this company that was selling refurbished Louis Vuitton bags that they tore apart and put together in new, interesting ways. Louis Vuitton sued them for trademark infringement because they're like, even though you have made it a new shape, the LV, that symbol, it is protected by trademark and it's still all over the bag. And that is going to be a draw for someone who wants to buy your refurbished bags. Okay. So oh shoot, I got to plug my computer back in. So the company, so Louis Vuitton sued this company that was selling refurbished and reconstructed, what you call that, handbags. And we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but this is happening in China, but the court has agreed with Louis Vuitton. The court said, look, if you made these bags and they didn't have the LV symbol on them, people might not be as interested, and that LV symbol is protected. Now, I'm a person, I don't really care about labels, so the LV on the bag might actually deter me, right? But someone who loves labels, if they see a reconstructed Louis Vuitton material bag that might be a quarter of the price of a regular Louis Vuitton bag, that might be a draw. So the court said, no, you cannot just take apart the Louis bags, put them together in a different way, and then sell them en masse like that's your product, because you're essentially going to be banking on the fact that this is made with authentic Louis Vuitton material, which you cannot verify. So they had to stop selling the bags. Okay. So my friends who are, and And the reason why this is coming up more is because we have a lot more people who are selling their pre-loved, their pre-owned designer items to reseller reseller outlets, right? How many of y'all have purchased a designer item through a reseller outlet? Like there's stuff like the Real, there's 260 sample sale, there's Gilts, G-I-L-T. How many of y'all have purchased a high-end luxury item through a reseller? Let me know in the comments, or at least have browsed, right? And it don't cost to look. It do not cost to look. Okay. All right. So, but again, that's in China, but I feel like that's going to be coming into the United States too, because these high end brands, they need people buying their stuff, and if people are buying the old stuff off of resellers, they're not getting any new customers, right? So they're trying to stop that. All right.